Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Thursday, January 18th, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We've been trending nicely higher this entire time. Again, we had a little bit of a midpoint here to watch out the previous session. We knew pre-market that if price starts to push to the midpoint, this likely leads to another push to new highs. We got very close to getting to new highs, and again, it's very hard to slow this train down. It's just continuing to push higher, perhaps a melt up, but that again shows that every pullback still continues to be a buying opportunity. Failed new lows are great opportunities as well. Also, there continues to be breakout days where you see a run of the stops through highs. So continue to look to do the thing that bulls do in a trending market, especially in the ES. You can also say the same for the NQ. This thing continues to trend up as well. We had a little bit of a rejection day, but we were watching that zone there. We were watching the 87.5, and we knew that if price were to push beyond 87.5, that likely leads to another push to new highs. Again, falling shy of new highs, but still remaining above the midpoints of the last few days here. And so overall, this remains within a nice bullish trending market. Pullback still to be defended until proven otherwise, as price continues to look for perhaps a major pivot top. But right now, still very bullish. And even if price were to pull back again into that LVN right here, that's about 65.50 to as high as say 6,600. So that zone right there is a very important zone. If price were to pull back as deep as that, we could still see a significant buying opportunity by bulls for a return to highs. So again, not expecting any sort of major pullback anytime soon, but if we were to see something like that, bulls would likely defend. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. This has been rather bullish overall. We continue to hold inside the range here. So basically the trading hasn't been very good inside this range. It's been very choppy, very whipsawy. So for the most part, the edges are the most important. 63 on one edge, 65 on the other. If price were to come down to 63 and reject that zone with the LVN and previous range low, that could offer a great buying opportunity for perhaps a push back to 65s and maybe even another run higher. So right now, that LVN is very important here. Top end of it is 63. You get into about 62.50. You also have the rising PIMAs here, the trigger zone, to provide support. So again, even if price goes sideways or pulls back here, bulls still likely to defend and look to return to previous highs and beyond until proven otherwise. Looking at GC, you can see a very strong market overall. This one has pulled back recently and is failing to hold below the previous session's low. So we're in an uptrending mode here, and here so far in pre-market trading, we're seeing failed new lows. That usually leads to another round of strength here. You'd like to see this thing continue driving through 1330. So right now the pivot really is 1330.3. That's the September 21st FOMC key level. That's been a very important level for a while. And that level is also one that goes back to last year of 2016, the last September of 2016, 2 Septembers ago. This last one here is 920, that's 1319, rather 1317. So price has been holding around those right here. But overall, we've been pushing up. Any failure to hold or get back above 1330 could cause a drop back down. But right now, the idea is that bulls are looking to defend counter trend rotations for a shot and perhaps returning this thing to recent highs between 1354 and 1362. One more, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So we're going to look at XBT here. XBT, this is the key range we've been watching, the key range we've been talking about in our trading room and in the first part of this year's market outlook. The key range goes from 11,300 up to 20,500, the midpoint being 15,900. That's very important. About mid last week, we mentioned in the group that, you know what, this is likely headed for a flush down. and the likely target is somewhere around 9,000. Anything between 9,000 and 11,300 could be a rejection zone. If you see a rejection below 11,300 and as low as at 9,000, that could offer a bounce back toward value and the midpoint of the key range. So value being just shy of 15,000 here and the midpoint of the range being 15,900. That's quite a move from where we currently trade. We're trading 11,920 at the moment, and so you can see the first parts of rejection are being seen, and that again, at least, the very least, could get you back toward this area in terms of a bounce. So keep that in mind, but in order for this to continue to play out, 11,300 continues to need to hold. Any bounce, say, into 13,000 could provide a shakeout back to 11,300 that could provide a final push. So we're watching this to see how it plays out. Overall, this could provide a short-term opportunity higher or as a reversion to the mean type of trade above 14,000. So keep an eye on this one. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.